Dandava Pranams, good morning everyone. We're going to continue the reading of Sri Caitanya-caritāmṛta. We are in Antya-līlā chapter 3, the Glories of Haridāsa Ṭhākura. And we were in text 142. Jai Jai Sri Caitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Sri Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Sri Caitanya-caritāmṛta ki jai, Śrīla Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami Prabhu ki jai, Śrīla S.C. Bhakti Swami Prabhupada ki jai, Jai Śrīla Gurudev ki jai. So we just been hearing about how Śrīla Haridāsa Ṭhākura transformed the prostitute into a celebrated devotee. And here we continue with that. Prasidha Vaishnavi Haila Parama Mahanti Bada Bada Vaishnava Tanra Darsanete Janti. Thus the prostitute became a celebrated devotee. She became very advanced in spiritual life, and many stalwart Vaishnavas would come to see her. Jai Shri Guru Gauranga Sura Daryu Ki Jai. We can give darshan of the Lord to the devotees. Text 143, Prabhu. Vesyara charitra deki loka chamatkara Haridāsa mahima kohe kori namaskara. Seeing the sublime character of the prostitute, everyone was astonished. Everyone glorified the influence of Haridāsa Ṭhākura and offered him obeisances. Rāmacandra Khān aparadha villa kaila, sei villa brikshahanya agete palila. By inducing a prostitute to disturb Haridāsa Ṭhākura, Rāmacandra Khān caused a seed of offense at his lotus feet to germinate. This seed later became a tree, and when it fructified, Rāmacandra Khān ate its fruits. Maha aparadhera phala Adbhuta Katana Prastava Panya Kohi Suna Bhaktagana. This offense at the lotus feet of an exalted devotee has resulted in a wonderful narration. Taking advantage of the opportunity afforded by these incidents, I shall explain what happened. O devotees, please listen. Sahajay a Vaishnava Rāmacandra Khān Haridāsa aparadhet hoila asura samana. Rāmacandra Khān was naturally a non-devotee. Now, having offended the lotus feet of Haridāsa Ṭhākura, he became just like a demoniac atheist. Vaishnava dharma ninda kore Vaishnava apamana baho dinera aparadhe paila parinama. Because of blaspheming the cult of Vaishnavism and insulting the devotees for a long time, he now received the result of his offensive activities. Purport. Rāmacandra Khān was a great offender at the lotus feet of the Vaishnavas and Vishnu. Just as Ravana, although born of a Brahmana father, Visvashrava, was nevertheless called an Asura or Rakshasa because of his offenses against Lord Ramacandra and Hanuman. So Rāmacandra Khān also became such an Asura because of his offenses against Haridāsa Ṭhākura and many others. Nityananda Gosai Gaude, Jave Aila, Prema Pracharite Tobe Brahmite Lagila. When Lord Nityananda returned to Bengal to preach the cult of Bhakti, love of Godhead, he began touring all over the country. Prema Pracharana Ara Prasanda Dalana Dui Karye Avaduta Korena Brahmana. For two purposes, to spread the cult of Bhakti and to defeat and subdue the atheists. Lord Nityananda, the most dedicated devotee of the Lord, moved throughout the country. Purport, as stated in Bhagavad Gita 4.8, Paritranaya sadhunam vinasaya cha duskritam dharma samastapanartaya sambhavami yuge yuge. Lord Krishna appears in every millennium for two purposes, namely to deliver the devotees and kill the non-devotees. His devotees also have two similar purposes: to preach the Bhakti cult of Krishna consciousness and defeat all kinds of agnostics and atheistic demons. Nityananda Prabhu carried out the order of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in this way, and those who strictly follow Nityananda Prabhu perform the same activities. There are two classes of devotees, one who is called Gostyanandi and the other is called Bhajanandi. Bhajananandi. A devotee who does not preach but always engages in devotional activities is called Bhajanandi. Bhajananandi. Whereas a devotee who not only is expert in devotional service but who also preaches the cult of Bhakti and defeats all kinds of agnostics is called Gostyanandi. Sarvanya Nityananda Aila Tara Gore Asija Vasila Durga Mandapa Upare. Lord Nityananda, who is omniscient because he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, came to the house of Rāmacandra Khān and sat down on the altar of the Durga Mandapa. Purport: well-to-do Hindu gentlemen constructed their houses with a place called the Durga Mandapa for the worship of the goddess Durga. There are generally held worship of the goddess every year in the month of Asvina, October. Rāmacandra Khān possessed such a Durga Mandapa at his residence. Oneka Loka Jana Songe Angara Varila Vittore Haite Rāmacandra Sevaka Pataila. When the Durga Mandapa and courtyard were filled with crowds of men, Rāmacandra Khān, who was inside the house, sent his servant to Lord Nityananda. Sevaka bole, Goswami more Pataila Kana, Grihastrera gore Tomaya Diva Vasa Stana. The servant informed Lord Nityananda, "My dear sir, Rāmacandra Khān has sent me to accommodate you in some common man's house. Goya Lara Gosala Haya Atyanta Vistara Ihan Sankirna Stala Tomara Manushya Apara. You might go to the house of a milkman, for the cow shed is spacious, whereas the space here in the Durga Mandapa is insufficient because you have many followers with you. Vittore Achila Suni Krodhe Bahirila Ata Hasi Gosani Kahite Lagila." When Nityananda Prabhu heard this order from the servant of Rāmacandra Khān, he became very angry and came out. Laughing very loudly, he spoke as follows: "Satya kohe, ei gora mora yogyanaya, melecha go badha kore tara yogya haya." Rāmacandra Khān has spoken rightly. This place is unfit for me. It is fit for cow-killing meat-eaters. Eta boli krodhe gosani utiya chalila. Tare danda dite se grame na rahila. Having said this, Lord Nityananda stood up and left in an angry mood. To chastise Rāmacandra Khān, he did not even stay in that village. Krodhe is anger, you know? Kama, Krodha, Moha, Madhavi. Remember that? Ihan Rāmacandra Khān Sevake Antya-līlā Goswami Yahan Vasila Tanra Mati Krodaila. Rāmacandra Khān ordered the servant to dig up the dirt in the place where Nityananda Prabhu had sat. Gomaya Jole Lepila Sava Mandira Prangana Tabu Rāmacandrera Mana Nahaila Prasana. To purify the Durga Mandapa temple and the courtyard, Rāmacandra Khān sprinkled and smeared it with water mixed with cow dung, but still his mind was unsatisfied. Dasyu Briti Kore Rāmacandra Rajare Na Deya Koro Krudha Hanya Mlecha Ujira Aila Tara Gore. Rāmacandra Khan's business was questionable, for he tried to avoid paying income tax to the government. Therefore, the government's Minister of Finance was angry and came to his residence. As he said, Durga Mandape Vasa Kaila Avadya Vadha Kori Mansa Je Gore Randaila. The Mohammedan minister made his residence in the Durga Mandapa of Rāmacandra Khān. He killed a cow and cooked the meat at that very place. Striputra Sahita Ramachandrere Bandija Taragora Gramat Lute Tina Dina Rahija. He arrested Rāmacandra Khān along with his wife and sons, and then he continuously plundered the house and village for 3 days. Sei Gore Tina Dina Kore Amedia Randana Aradina Sava Lanya Karila Gamana. In that very room, he cooked the flesh of a cow for 3 consecutive days. Then the next day he left, accompanied by his followers. Jati Dana Jana Kanera Sakala Laila, Bahudina Parjanta Grama Ujada Rahila. The Mohammedan minister took away Rāmacandra Khan's position, wealth, and followers. For many days the village remained deserted. Mahantera Apamana Je Deshe Grame Haya Eka Janara Doshe Saba Desha Ujadaya. Wherever an advanced devotee is insulted for one man's fault, the entire town or place is afflicted. Haridāsa Ṭhākura Choli Aila Chanda Pure Asija Rahila Balarama Acharyera Gore. Haridāsa Ṭhākura walked until he came to the village known as Chandrapura. There he stayed at the house of Balaram Acharya. So that was, we ended there in that sloka where that pastime of Haridāsa Ṭhākura and transforming that prostitute into a devotee. This we finish here in 164. Because Rāmacandra Khān, he was the one who sent the prostitute to Haridāsa Ṭhākura, right? Because he was some kind of, he was not really a Vaishnava, right? So the whole pastime ended here with Rāmacandra Khān paying for his offense. Okay. Which purport?
This one.
The 165. So Haridāsa Ṭhākura walked until he came to the village known as Chandrapura. There he stayed at the house of Balaram Acharya. Purport: the village of Chandrapura is situated near the confluence of the rivers Ganges and Yamuna at Sapta Grama in the district of Hooghly. Chandrapura is just east of the house of the 2 brothers Hiranya and Govardhana, the father and uncle of Raghunath Das Goswami. In Chandrapura lived Balaram Acharya and Yadunandana Acharya, the priest of these 2 personalities. And when Haridāsa Ṭhākura went there, he lived with them. Śrīla Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur says that the name of this village was later changed to Krishnapur. So maybe we read one more verse here. Hiranya Govardhana Dui Mulukera Majumadara Tara Purohita Balarama Nama Tanra. Hiranya and Govardhana were the 2 governmental treasurers in that division of the country. Their priest was named Balaram Acharya. Okay, maybe one more, because here begins another kind of pastimes. Haridāsa kripa patra tate bhakti mane jatna kori takurere rakila sei grame. Balaramacharya, being favored by Haridāsa Ṭhākura, was very attached to him. Therefore, he kept Haridāsa Ṭhākura in the village with great care and attention. So Balaramacharya was the priest of those two governmental treasurers who work in the government, Hiranya and Govardhan. Nirjana Parna Salaya Korena Kirtana Balaramacharya Grihe Bhiksha Nirvahana. In the village, Haridāsa Ṭhākura was given a solitary thatched cottage where he performed the chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. He accepted prasadam at the house of Balaram Acharya. Raghunatha Dasa Balaka Korena Adiyajana Haridāsa Ṭhākurere Jai Korena Darshana. Raghunath Das, who was the son of Hiranya Mahumadara and was later to become Raghunath Das Goswami, was at that time a boy engaged in study. He came to see Haridāsa Ṭhākura daily. Haridāsa kripa kore tahara upare, sei kripa karana haila, Chaitanya paivare. Naturally, Haridāsa Ṭhākura was merciful towards him, and because of the merciful benediction of this Vaishnava, he later attained the shelter of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's lotus feet. Tahan jaiche haila Haridasera mahima katana, Vyakhyana adbhuta kata suna bhaktagana. At the residence of Hiranya and Govardhan, discourses took place by which Haridāsa Ṭhākura was glorified. O devotees, please listen to that wonderful story. So you remember who was the father of Raghunath Das Goswami? Hiranya. So in that house was discourses were taking place by Haridāsa Ṭhākura. And Raghunath Das Goswami was just a small boy. Ekadina Balarama Minati Karija Majumadarera Savaya Aila Ṭhākure Lanya. One day Balaram Acharya requested Haridāsa Ṭhākura with great humility to come to the assembly of the Majumadaras, Hiranya and Govardhan. Thus Balaram Acharya went there with Haridāsa Ṭhākura. Ṭhākura deki dui bai kaila adjutanya Paya podi asara asana dila karija samana. Seeing Haridāsa Ṭhākura, the two brothers immediately stood up and fell at his lotus feet. Then with great respect they offered him a place to sit. Oneka pandites sabaya brahmana sajana duibai maha pandita Hiranya Govardhana. In that assembly were many learned scholars, brahmanas and respectable gentlemen. The two brothers Hiranya and Govardhana were also greatly learned. Haridasera guna sabe kohe pancha muke, sunija ta dui bai paila boda suke. Everyone there began to speak of Haridāsa Ṭhākura's great qualities, as if they had 5 mouths. Hearing this, both brothers were extremely happy. Tina Laksha Nama Ṭhākura Korena Kirtana Namera Mahima Utaila Pandita Gana. It was mentioned in the assembly that Haridāsa Ṭhākura chanted the holy name of Krishna 300,000 times a day. Thus all the learned scholars began to discuss the glories of the holy name. Keha bole Nama haite haya papa ksaya. Keha bole Nama haite jivera moksha haya. Some of them said, by chanting the holy name of the Lord, one is freed from the reactions of all sinful life. Others said, simply by chanting the holy name of the Lord. A living being is liberated from material bondage. Haridāsa Ṭhākura, Namera Eidui Pala Naya, Namera Pala Krishna Pode Prema Upajaya. Haridāsa Ṭhākura protested, these two benedictions are not the true result of chanting the holy name. By actually chanting the holy name without offenses, one awakens his ecstatic love for the lotus feet of Krishna. And we read one last verse. Evam brata swa priya nama kritya jatanurago druta chita uchai hasati ato roditi rauti gajati unmadavan nityati loka bhajya. When a person is actually advanced and takes pleasure in chanting the holy name of the Lord, who is very dear to him, he is agitated and loudly chants the holy name. He also laughs, cries, becomes agitated and chants just like a madman, no caring for outsiders. For an explanation of this verse, one may consult chapter 7, text 94 of the Antya-līlā. And then Haridāsa Ṭhākura continues explaining the result of chanting the holy name, the true result of chanting the holy name. Jai Shri Caitanya-caritāmṛta ki Jai. Śrīla Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami Prabhu ki Jai. Śrīla A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki Jai. We continue tomorrow with text 180 of the Antya-līlā, chapter 3, the glories of Haridāsa Ṭhākura. Jai Shri Caitanya-caritāmṛta ki Jai.
Rāmacandra Khān.
He was a Hindu.
He calls me.
Huh?
Calls me? Rāmacandra Khān?
No.
Who calls me?
No. Rāmacandra Khān was like a Hindu, and he had a temple of Durga in his courtyard. But the Mohammedan Muslim ruler, he came there and killed a cow in that temple and took all the possessions of Rāmacandra Khān and took the position of Rāmacandra Khān. And I think that was all caused by the offenses that he caused to Haridāsa Ṭhākura, right? Remember, Rāmacandra Khān was the one who sent the prostitute to disturb Haridāsa Ṭhākura. And obviously he created a great offense. And then when Nityananda Prabhu came there, he also didn't see the glories he didn't see the exalted personality of Nityananda Prabhu either. Remember? He actually told him, you can go and stay in a cowshed or something with your associates. So he also made another offense to Lord Nityananda as well. And then thereafter he came, this Mohammedan, right? This ruler, Muslim ruler, came there, and because Rāmacandra Khān did not pay taxes, he didn't want to pay taxes. He was doing something kind of illegal as well. Huh?
Himself, no?
Yes.
Taking all that money from
Exactly.
It was like taking the money, like, you know, it will say money or...
Okay, so this government minister, who was a Mohammedan, right? He was very angry because of knowing that he wasn't, doing his job properly, avoiding paying tax and all that. So he was the one who came and made his residence in that area of the temple of Rāmacandra Khān, of his residence, and then arrested him.
Yeah,
He arrested him.
I heard that chapter from Śrīla who was reading that, and then he was saying something like that is like an offense, it's a big offense to take the we say ingresos?
The taxes
The taxes
for your own.
for themselves and not for the for the people, for help the.
Yes. So he's doing some dishonest work, dishonest activities. So in that way, he arrested Rāmacandra Khān with his wife and sons and took all his possessions, took his post, and did kill a cow in the temple and did all these atrocious activities. Anyway. Yeah. So then Haridāsa Ṭhākura continued with his activities, and that's where he's traveling and staying with that priest Balaram Acharya, right? Who was the priest of the father of Raghunath Das Goswami, who was a small child at that time, and he was coming to listen to, listen from him. So then we continue tomorrow with Haridāsa Ṭhākura explaining the benefits of the chanting of the holy names. You want to sing Hariharaya, Prabhu?
Hariharaya Nama Krishna Yadavaya Namaha.
Hariya Nama Krishna Yadavaya Namaha. Yadavaya Madhavaya Kesavaya Namaha. Gopala Govinda Ram Sri Madhusudana. Giridhari Gopinath Shri Chaitanya Nityananda Shri Advaita Chandra Gadadhara Shiva Sani Gaurava
Jaya Rupa Sanatan Bhattavakuna Shri Jiva Gopala Bhakta Savakuna Araki Vidhari Joki Jai. Jai Shishi Guru Gauranga Gandharva Govinda Sundar Joki Jai. Jai Om Vishipa Paramamsa Prabhatika Chaya Vari Asata Sata Śrīla Śrīla Bhakti Sundar Govinda Deka Swami Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishipa Paramamsa Prabhatika Chaya Vari Asata Sata Śrīla Śrīla Bhakti Akashida Deka Swami Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishipa Vishipa Paramamsa Prabhatika Chaya Vari Asata Sata Śrīla Śrīla Bhakti Saraswati Ṭhākura Ki Jai. Jai Shri Rupanoga Guruvaka Ki Jai. Rāmacandra Haridāsa Ṭhākura Ki Jai. Śrīla A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai. Sarvaswati Nityananda Prabhu Ki Jai. Sarvaswati Sriman Mahaprabhu Ki Jai. All devotees all over the world Ki Jai. Jai Haridāsa Ṭhākura. Jai. All the assembled devotees Ki Jai. Nitai Gaura Krishna Hari Bol.